Hey guys, welcome back to another Origins TCG deck guide. Today we're going to be checking out the Mulan deck, the Mulan on reveal deck. So let's go ahead and hop in there and see what the cards are in that deck. So every card on here has an on reveal ability, so it really helps when you have Mulan out, because what she does is if she's on the board and you play something with an on reveal, it's going to do the on reveal twice. And then her passive is a spell version of that, so it lasts for one turn. You play a couple cards that have on reveals, and then you play that spell, and then it'll duplicate both those people. And then as far as the cards itself, there's a few that are like really good to play around in terms of on reveals. You want to try to like make sure to use them while you have either the spell or Mulan out. And I would say that would be Mary and Mowgli, I think, are my two favorites, because those are kind of win conditions that this deck otherwise kind of lacks. But what Mary does is when you play her, she gives you a little lamb into your hand, so that's the on reveal. So you play the spell and you get two little lambs, and then when Mary dies, both of those lambs get +3/+3, and they're only 2 costs, so they become 4/4s with trample for 2 costs, so that's really good, and that's the only like trample or snipe or any sort of damage like that. Then Mowgli spawns Baloo at another random location, so if you get 2 of those out, that's also really good. So those are my 2 favorites. But White Queen is also kind of like a B tier, pretty good option. It's more situational, but when you play her, you're able to choose one of the opponent's cards and put that back in his deck, and then you duplicate it and it'll choose another random one. Little John, if you can guarantee that you're in the spot you need to be for it to get a buff, it can be good. Other than that, it's more like utility, like Yoko Ono or Yuki Onna, whatever, gives you freezes, so it's nice to have extra ones, but it's not, going to help you win the game. I mean, it can help you win the game, but it's not, going to win the game itself. You still have to use those freeze as well. And then Tuck and Scarecrow are card draw. But Tuck is like Little John, where you have to play it in the correct spot to get the card draw. So I don't like risking it on that. Black Knight situationally does the 2 damage. We've seen that in other decks, but getting him to do 4 damage can be definitely useful. And then Bagheera's only if Mulan is out, and it's so cheap that sometimes it's nice, but yeah, I'd mostly focus on these ones. Fairy Godmother can be good, of course. She just buffs the 3/3, but that's like single card, so I don't love using all that utility onto one card. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop into a game and kind of see how it works. I actually filmed this video already, and my camera was in the wrong spot down. It was like up here and way too big. It's kind of covering stuff, so I had to delete that one and try again. But I actually had a pretty good game against a real human being rather than a bot, so a little unfortunate. But I honestly didn't use, like, I ended up putting Mulan out and dying, and it died immediately, so rather get that chance to just see some of the on reveals work, since that's the point of the deck. But this one looks like it'll be a bot. Hyper 3. Another move deck though. And if you're playing, the way you can tell it's a bot is because if it's not a bot, they're stuck with this card back that you win. The bots will have something else. Not a bad hand. For me, I'm going to take out Stroke of Midnight. I've said it before, but I just don't think Stroke of Midnight is that good right now. It can be useful situationally, and honestly against move deck it's not bad, since move deck can create pretty strong cards. But when I was playing it in the tournament, I was just constantly up against people that had like lots of 1/1s and stuff like that, and you just don't want to use it on something that low. Like, you're spending 2 mana to just give him back a 1/1 cost or 1/1 character. So anyway, that's why I'm not a huge fan of that. I kind of feel like they're gonna play middle here, but throw it aside. Okay,
I'm everywhere.
it's wrong twice. That's okay though. But yeah, I'm not super good at the Tuck and Little John predictions, so not my favorite cards, because Yeah, it's just a little bit of RNG, but let's see. Now I kind of feel like he's gonna play over here, so I feel a little better about playing Little John there. Yeah, that'll be good to have a 6/6 trample already over there. A little unlucky, gets the block there, but pretty good move. It's interesting that it still counts. It makes sense, but this kind of keeps the ability from happening, but by the time he moves over here, he gets his ability back, so then he does spawn back in there. Still got to respond to tuck in Little John, though. He's not protecting very well. Neither am I, but with how much damage I've done, I can just give this up if I really wanted to. I could also just to show it off and also just get his stuff off the board. Do this. Okay. Okay, that's when Stroke of My Net is good, but at the same time, he has an on reveal, so now I get a chance to make this an 8/8. And I'm glad I cleared that up. I'll do a little bit of trample damage, do some damage here, and then he's not getting this damage anymore, so still pretty far ahead. We'll probably still play in the middle, but I'm ready to focus more on this. I'll let him play there. I'll go ahead and just draw a card just because. Okay, he still played there, so yeah. So that, I forget what it's called, the Stroke of Midnight now just lets John get bigger and bigger because I get to play him again.
Everywhere.
So yeah, now this is almost guaranteed because you need like a Bandersnatch to protect from this, and then this one's already really close, so fortunately this is a really quick game. That's what happens when you play bots sometimes, especially bots with the movement deck, because that deck is not the easiest. Yeah. Just wrap it up.
I am the ripple.
Interesting, why did that fail?
The wave.
Oh, he probably chose Little John to move to his location, but my thing's full, so that I think is why that would fail. Interesting decision to try to use the your limited movement abilities on my characters when you can move this guy and cover more spots, since he'll duplicate himself, but again, that's just a bot doing bot things, so. I guess I got my Mulan killed before she did too much again, but this deck's strong even without the legendary, so it's okay. Probably just put out as much damage as I can over here, guarantee myself 2 there, and then gotta block both these spots or else they lose.
Try that again, sweetie.
Even the faithful can fight.
Yeah, you really have to be ahead to play Bandersnatch, or at least tied. Because it doesn't matter. So yeah, that was a quick little on-reveal game. Hopefully I showed you some tips, but yeah, the bots are just a little too easy. I'd like to find a real human to go against to really show it off, because I feel like the deck is so much better than the move deck that he never had a chance. You gotta really play optimally with that move deck to beat on reveal, I think, with these versions of the deck. But yeah, this one is definitely a really strong deck. Having played it in the tournament, I did well with it, and it sounds like most everyone was using the on reveal. A couple people with like Death, I think Fenchurch had Legion. But yeah, this is pretty straightforward, like just play your on reveals in a way, or play your characters that duplicate the on reveals in a way that you get as many on reveals as you can, obviously, and that will be generally enough to win you the game. Didn't get a look at Fairy Godmother, but I actually did have a little moment in one of my games where I had Mulan out and then I Fairy Godmothered, I think maybe it was Little John, like twice, and used the, so I had Mulan and I used the Reflection to get Fairy Godmother to buff a guy like 3 times, just because I kind of knew that he was going to try to play a Bandersnatch. So I was able to kill the Bandersnatch and still survive and not get any trample damage. So there's little things like that you can surprise people with that are kind of make this deck pretty fun. So yeah, there's kind of a lot of skill expression in this one, I would say, and a lot of knowledge expression, I guess. I don't know if it's a term, but definitely I think this is one of the top decks out of the 7 that we got here. So if you haven't already, give it a shot, try it out, let me know what you think. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one where we will do the Merlin and Spellcast deck. So anyway, have a good one. Thanks.